Good morning students, welcome to today's chemistry class. In the previous class we have discussed about the structure of atom. What are the fundamental particles present inside the atoms and what are the different atomic models, about that also we have discussed. And the first model was proposed by J.J. Thomson. And since his model has some limitations, a new atomic model was proposed by another scientist known as Rutherford. His atomic model also has some limitations, so a scientist known as Niels Bohr, he proposed another model of atom that is known as Bohr's atomic model. So first we have to study this Bohr's atomic model. So before studying about Bohr's atomic model, we have to study about what are the factors that led to the discovery of this Bohr's atomic model. What are the factors led to the discovery of Bohr's atomic model? Okay. So the first factor which led to the discovery of Bohr's atomic model is the dual character of electromagnetic radiation. Dual character means two character. These electromagnetic radiations are possessing two characters, that is wave-like character and particle-like character. In physics you might have studied about the wave and particle character of light, isn't it? So wave character means light is moving in the form of a wave just like this, and particle means just like a sand particle or a sugar particle, thus light is appearing as a particle. That is what is meant by particle character. Okay. So this light is possessing these two characters, that is wave character and particle character. So just like that, electromagnetic radiations are also possessing these two characters, wave character and particle like character. That is what is meant by dual character of electromagnetic radiation. And have you heard about this word electromagnetic radiation? What is that electromagnetic radiation? Electromagnetic radiation means it is a form of energy. Okay, it is a form of energy which is emitting from any heat source like a sun or burning candle or a bulb. So these heat sources, they are emitting energy. Continuously they are emitting energy in the form of radiation. And these radiations are associated with a moving or oscillating electric and magnetic field. And such a radiation which is associated with an electric and magnetic field can be called as an electromagnetic radiation. Okay, so the energy emitted by any source can be called as an electromagnetic radiation because these radiations are associated with the electric and magnetic field. So they are known as electromagnetic radiation. Radiation means it is a form of energy. Energy is emitting. Okay. Examples of electromagnetic radiations, you know, that is our X-rays, that is we are using for taking X-rays and all. Then gamma rays, ultraviolet rays, then our visible light also a form of electromagnetic radiation. Okay. So we can go through this topic once again. The second factor led to the discovery of Bohr's atomic model is atomic spectra. Atomic spectra means the spectrum produced by a particular atom. That means, have you observed the barcode on some product when we are buying that product? The barcode on the packet of some products. So just like that, a spectrum will be produced by an atom. When we are passing light through the sample of that element, we can see a spectrum just like the barcode. Okay. And that is known as its atomic spectrum, and that spectrum will be an identity of that particular atom. That means that atom can only produce that type of spectrum. For example, for sodium atom we will get one type of spectrum, then for hydrogen atom we will get another type of spectrum, like that. Okay. So the spectrum, atomic spectrum of different elements, that also led to the discovery of Bohr's atomic model. Okay. Now we can study about these two factors in detail. First, about the dual character of electromagnetic radiation. Dual character means I told already, that is two characters, wave-like and particle-like character. So before studying about the wave-like and particle-like character, we should know what is this electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation means consider a heat source like a sun or a burning candle or a bulb. These heat sources, they are continuously emitting energy. These sources are continuously emitting energy in the form of radiation. And these radiations are associated with an oscillating electric and magnetic field. Because this energy is produced from a charged particle. the energy is produced by the movement of a charged particle. Okay, so due to the movement of a charged particle, an electric and magnetic field also will be produced. So when this energy is coming from that heat source, this energy is coming in the form of a radiation, and that radiation is associated with an electric and magnetic field. So as this energy is moving, this electric and magnetic field associated with it is also moving. Okay, and such a radiation which is associated with an electric and magnetic field can be called as an electromagnetic radiation. So the radiations or the energy coming from sun can be called as an electromagnetic radiation. Like that, the energy produced by a burning candle, that can be called as an electromagnetic radiation. Like that, the energy produced or the light produced by a bulb, that can be called as an electromagnetic radiation. Okay, why these radiations are known as electromagnetic radiation? Because these radiations are associated with an electric field and magnetic field. That is why they are known as electromagnetic radiation. Got that? And some examples for electromagnetic radiations which are familiar to us are ultraviolet rays, UV radiation, IR radiations, then our visible light also. It is a type of electromagnetic radiation. So like this, different types of electromagnetic radiations are there. So all these electromagnetic radiations, they are possessing a dual character, means they are exhibiting a wave character. Just like a wave, they are moving, at the same time they are possessing a particle character also. Particle means just like a sand particle or a sugar particle. Okay, these radiations are possessing a particle character also. How it is possessing these, that we will study later. Okay, now you should understand this much only. Electromagnetic radiation means it is a radiation or it is a form of energy which are associated with a moving electric and magnetic field. And these radiations are having two characters, that is a wave character and a particle character. Now we can study what are the nature of this electromagnetic radiation. That means the features of electromagnetic radiation. Already the first one we have told already, that is electromagnetic radiations are associated with an electric and magnetic field, and these electric and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, and both are perpendicular to the direction of propagation. That we can show like this. Okay, can you see this? So if this is the direction of propagation of the energy is moving in this direction, the magnetic field will be in this direction. Okay, and the electric field will be in this direction. That means three of them are perpendicular to each other. Okay, the energy is moving, propagating in this direction, so the magnetic field will be in this direction and the electric field will be in this direction. So we can tell that during the propagation of an electromagnetic radiation, the magnetic and electric field, they are perpendicular to each other and they are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the energy or direction of propagation of that electromagnetic radiation. Okay, that is the first point that we can show like this. This shows the direction of propagation of electromagnetic radiation and the direction of electric and magnetic field components. The next feature about electromagnetic radiation is this electromagnetic radiation is possessing a wave character and it is moving with a velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. That is the velocity of visible light, isn't it? So just like that, these electromagnetic radiation are also moving with the same velocity, 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. And it is moving in the form of a wave. That is the second feature of electromagnetic radiation. Okay. Then the next property of electromagnetic radiation is these electromagnetic radiation do not require any material medium for its propagation. That means it can move through vacuum also. This electromagnetic radiation can propagate through vacuum also. In the case of sound waves, we know that it requires either a solid medium or a liquid medium or a gaseous medium for its propagation. Okay, through any of this medium also only the sound can travel. But this electromagnetic radiation require no medium for its propagation. It can move through vacuum also. That is why the energy from sun coming to our earth, isn't it? We know that in space there is no medium No air, no gas, and no liquid, isn't it? No solid also. There it is vacuum. So through that vacuum also these electromagnetic radiations are moving and reaching our earth. So we can tell that this electromagnetic radiation do not require any material medium for its propagation. Clear that? So these are the 3 points regarding electromagnetic radiation. First one, it is associated with electric and magnetic field which are perpendicular to each other, and then the second point is they are moving with the velocity of light. Then the third one, it does not require any material medium for its propagation. Clear that? These characters of electromagnetic radiation was explained by James Clerk Maxwell, and that theory is known as electromagnetic wave theory. Okay, so this wave character of electromagnetic radiation was explained by James Clerk Maxwell, and it is known as electromagnetic wave theory. So according to James Clerk Maxwell, these electromagnetic radiations are moving in the form of a wave. As a result, they are possessing all the wave characteristics. What are the characteristics of a wave? That we have studied in lower classes. That is, wave is possessing different characteristics such as wavelength, frequency, amplitude, then velocity, etc. So these are the characteristics of a wave. We can just go through these once again. Okay, what are the characteristics of a wave? The first characteristic of a wave is its wavelength. It is defined as the distance between any two consecutive crest or trough. This represents the movement of a wave. So there is a mean position. About that mean position, the wave is propagating. That central line, that is the mean position. About that mean position, the wave is propagating. The upper portions above the mean position, that is known as the crest, and the lower portions are known as troughs. The distance between two adjacent crests or two adjacent troughs, that is known as its wavelength. The wavelength is represented by the symbol lambda, and it is expressed either in Armstrong unit or in centimeters or in nanometers. And 1 Armstrong is equal to 10 raised to minus 8 centimeter. Now the next characteristic of a wave is its frequency. It is defined as the number of waves passing through a point in 1 second. How many waves are passing through a point in 1 second, that is known as its frequency. Here 3 waves I have drawn. These 3 waves are passing through that point, that is that line. Okay, in 1 second time these 3 waves are passing through that point. So we can tell that the frequency of that wave is 3. Okay, 3 hertz or 3 cycles per second. That is what is meant by frequency. This frequency is represented by the letter nu. This is reading as nu, and the unit of frequency is hertz or cycles per second. Now the next characteristic of a wave is its velocity. That we know, it is the linear distance travelled by the wave in 1 second, that is known as velocity. How much distance a wave is travelling in 1 second time, that is known as its velocity, and it is represented by the letter c, and its unit are meter per second or centimeter per second. Now the next characteristic of a wave is its amplitude. It is the height of the crest or depth of the trough. It is represented by the letter a, and its units are same as the unit of length, that is meter or centimeter. This represents a wave, and the height of that crest or height of the depth of the trough, both will be same. Okay, and that is known as the amplitude. The next feature of a wave is wave number. It is the number of waves present in 1 centimeter length. In 1 centimeter length, how many waves are there? That is known as its wave number. It is represented by nu bar. Above nu we are putting a line that is reading as nu bar, and it is the reciprocal of wavelength, that is nu bar is equal to 1 by lambda, or wave number is equal to the reciprocal of its wavelength. Since the electromagnetic radiations are possessing a wave character, electromagnetic radiations are also having all these characters or all these features. Okay, in the case of these electromagnetic radiations, the wavelength will be, the velocity will be equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. All electromagnetic radiations are not having same frequency and same wavelength. Depending upon the frequency and wavelength, we can divide the electromagnetic radiation into different types. For example, radio waves, microwaves, IR radiations, then visible light, ultraviolet, gamma rays, X-rays. All these are different types of electromagnetic radiations, and these different types of electromagnetic radiations can be arranged in a particular order. we can arrange this electromagnetic radiation in the increasing order of their wavelength or in the decreasing order of their frequency. And that is known as electromagnetic spectrum. The arrangement of electromagnetic radiations in a particular order, that is known as electromagnetic spectrum. This is the arrangement of electromagnetic radiations given in our textbook. There it is the frequency. These are the frequencies. Okay. So frequencies are in a decreasing order. From when we are moving from left to right, the frequencies are decreasing. Okay. And here it is given the wavelength of these radiations, and this wavelength is increasing. That means these rays are arranged in a decreasing order of their wavelength. Increasing order of their wavelength. These radiations are arranged in the increasing order of their wavelength. Okay, this is the wavelength. From here it is increasing. So the first electromagnetic radiation coming here is gamma rays. It is having higher frequency and lower wavelength. Then comes X-rays. These X-rays are having lower frequency than gamma rays and higher wavelength than gamma rays. Okay. Then after X-rays it is coming UV, ultraviolet radiations. Then a small portion is our visible region, visible spectrum. That means visible light. Then comes IR radiation, infrared radiation. So our visible light is coming in between ultraviolet and infrared radiation. Then comes microwave. Then this is the area of radio waves. Okay, so this is the arrangement of this electromagnetic radiation in the decreasing order of their frequency and increasing order of their wavelength. And this arrangement is known as electromagnetic spectrum. Clear that? So this is about the wave nature of electromagnetic radiation. So first we have studied about the electromagnetic radiation, and then its wave nature also we have discussed. Okay. So since these electromagnetic radiations are possessing a wave character, it is possessing the properties of a wave. That means wavelength, frequency, amplitude, etc. Okay. And this wave character of electromagnetic radiation are explained by James Clerk Maxwell, and that is known as electromagnetic wave theory. I think it is clear for all of you. Then about the particle nature of electromagnetic radiation we can discuss in the next class. Okay.